In 1 year, millions of trips to the United States were cancelled worldwide. From Tokyo to Toronto, international travelers no longer feel excited about New York visits. Many Americans quietly search online for retirement countries or cheap houses abroad every day. It feels like they want to escape the country they once proudly called home. In 2025, tourism losses are costing America billions and creating unemployment across cities. The American dream now feels more like an old fading brand than living hope. This story is not only about facts but about people and their doubts. You must ask yourself, is America still home or just a temporary stop? Official reports and international media provide these details for everyone to reflect and discuss. When the US dollar becomes stronger, many ordinary people strangely feel much weaker. A coffee in New York costs $7, equal to a full Mexican meal. For tourists, this means expensive airfare, overpriced hotels, and dinners costing hundreds of dollars. A trip to the United States now feels affordable only for very wealthy people. The strong dollar comes from inflation, high interest rates, and strict monetary policies. The burden falls not on CEOs with jets, but on middle-class families abroad. Families once filled Broadway and crowded the Statue of Liberty but now cancel trips. They choose Portugal, Thailand, or Mexico where their money has more real value. Even Americans are leaving. A retired couple in Ohio could only afford motels. In Mexico, they rent an apartment by the sea and cheaper medicine easily. They said, for the first time, we lived with human dignity, very painful. The dollar is strong but life is weak, and dreams are out of reach. For billionaires, America remains paradise, but ordinary families now feel pushed away daily. If one coffee costs as much as a family meal, the choice is clear. This is only the beginning. America hides problems behind glossy ads and marketing tricks. One photo can be stronger than millions spent on advertising campaigns worldwide today. In 2025, photos online do not show bright Times Square or shiny lights. They show tents under skyscrapers in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Portland streets. These cities appear on TikTok not as dreams, but as modern street horror. Tourists no longer need ghost tours, walking downtown already shows enough terrifying scenes. Canadians who once loved Las Vegas now remain home in Vancouver without traveling. Europeans who once dreamed of San Francisco now visit Barcelona instead without hesitation. Why? Housing is expensive, wages are flat, and governments cannot fix the problems. The result is streets with syringes, makeshift beds, and visible despair everywhere around. One Los Angeles Uber driver told about visitors from Tokyo arriving at the airport. When they saw tents on the roadside, they changed tickets to Hawaii immediately. Tourists leave not because attractions are missing but because reality feels too shocking. Even Americans now ask if it is safe for tourists, should we remain? America the beautiful was once proud. Now social media shows America the fearful. Is this the true face of America today, or only rare exceptions visible? Things get worse before entry. In 2025, problems start during visa application stage. Visa applications take months. You pay fees, wait interviews, and still face rejection. Since September, applicants cannot interview in third countries but must return home instead. Appointments are delayed 6 to 12 months. Many Europeans and Canadians cancel trips. Inbound tourism dropped more than 8%, leaving planes empty and hotels without guests. Behind numbers are workers. Hotel staff, taxi drivers, and restaurant servers lose incomes. One Toronto businessman tried 4 visa interviews, postponed each time, finally canceling Florida trip. He chose Mexico instead, where procedures were easier and costs much more affordable. America once promised freedom. Now even Disneyland feels harder to reach than roller coasters. Europe welcomes visitors, but the United States closes doors and adds extra burdens. Tourists ask, should we wait in long lines or choose welcoming destinations instead? The bigger problem is Americans themselves losing hope and faith in their future. A shocking number says 61% believe their children will live worse. If you no longer believe tomorrow is better, what remains to hold? Reality shows clearly in a Walmart shopping cart filled with milk and bread. Everyday prices are higher than last month. Inflation hits families harder than statistics. The American dream once promised a better tomorrow. Today many wonder if it's gone. That means the same shopping cart today costs more dollars than before. Visitors from other countries see not only the Statue of Liberty or famous streets. They also read news about student debt, high health costs, and lost dreams. They hear Americans say the American dream is no longer real or possible. So they lose interest and avoid travel to a country losing hope itself. This problem is not only about money but also about trust and psychology. America was once a shining example where life always seemed to get better. But now many Americans search online for retirement in Costa Rica or Canada. They do not hate America but no longer feel safe in their homeland. A teacher in Texas said, "I love America, but not its medical bills. People say freedom is not free, but no one mentioned a 3-page bill." The government claims inflation is under control, but daily life shows another truth. How can inflation be controlled when your grocery basket looks emptier every week? Is the real problem high prices, or is it the lost American dream? The American dream once meant a small house, green yard, and car outside. But in 2025, the dream looks like a layaway plan for hospital bills. America spends more than $12,000 per person yearly on healthcare. That is nearly twice as much as Canada or most European countries today. A survey shows 70% of Americans over 45 fear health costs after retirement. This is not just a future worry, because the bills arrive every month. The U.S. system is a confusing mix of private insurance, Medicare, and Medicaid. With no price control, medicines can cost 10 times more than in Mexico. For example, insulin costs $40 in Mexico but $600 in Florida. A retired couple said they still go to Tijuana for medicine after taxes. In America, doctors may save your life, but the bill empties your wallet. Some even joke it is not healthcare but wealthcare for the rich. This is why many Americans look for new homes and health systems abroad. In Portugal, private health insurance costs only a few $100s yearly. In Mexico, medical care is often 1/10 the cost compared to America. If money lasts longer abroad, why stay and pay for the dream in debt? The old slogan said the American dream was alive and well for everyone. Now people joke it may be alive, but it is definitely not well. So why do people still stay in America if healthcare is expensive? The answer lies in history, identity, and the feeling that home is home. In the early 1900s, millions of immigrants entered through Ellis Island for dreams. But today the opposite is happening, with more Americans leaving for cheaper lives. It is estimated 9 million Americans live abroad, though numbers are debated. The State Department even stopped publishing official numbers after the year 2024. Many Americans choose retirement in Mexico, Portugal, or Costa Rica for savings. In Portugal, they rent seaside apartments and pay medical bills cheaper than cable. It is not only about money but also safety, politics, and quality of life. One sailor moved to Lisbon and bought health insurance for Texas electricity prices. He served America, but in his own country, he could not afford medicine. Ellis Island was once the gate of the dream, now the exit line. The exit line exists not just at airports but inside people's thoughts every day. They ask themselves, should I stay and endure or leave and start over? This raises a bigger question. How did a superpower lose its own dream? And what will happen if this wave grows during the 2026 World Cup? The World Cup is the biggest sporting event and includes US, Canada, and Mexico. The world will watch soccer but also whether America feels open and welcoming. Strict visa rules make fans think twice about traveling to the United States. An Italian fan may prefer Toronto or Mexico City instead of US visas. If many fans choose this, American stadiums, hotels, and taxis could stay empty. This is not only about tickets but about America's image in the world. How can a beacon of freedom feel like an exclusive club for tourists? The World Cup should be an opportunity, but Canada and Mexico may profit more. If that happens, American waiters, drivers, and hotel staff will lose income. Imagine colorful fans filling Toronto stadiums while New Jersey seats remain empty. While the world plays soccer, America blocks itself with heavy paperwork and rules. If even a global sports festival cannot improve America's image, what can? Now think about vacations, where short trips abroad become permanent moves later. More people go to Mexico, Portugal, or Canada and then decide not returning. Applications for long-term visas in Mexico are rising among Americans each year. Portugal's towns fill with retirees, and families move to Canada for healthcare. At first, it feels like just a vacation, but costs show clear differences. Meals are half the price of New York, doctors cost the same as taxis. Beach apartments in Portugal equal small old apartments in Florida for the same money. So many ask themselves, why return when life abroad is cheaper and calmer? These people are called gray nomads, older Americans living abroad for savings. They do not hate America but want their money to last much longer. This means billions that could support US businesses now flow into other countries. At the same time, millions of tourists cancel US trips and choose elsewhere. And thousands of Americans cancel their own US lives for cheaper lives abroad. So whose dream is the American dream now, if even Americans leave it? Is it still a dream for the world or only a memory in books? Here is a question for you. Have you thought about leaving America? If yes, what is your dream destination for a cheaper and safer life? First, tourists stop coming to America, and now Americans themselves consider leaving. This is not just numbers like 8.2% tourist drop or 86% leaving interest. It is about coffee costing too much, bills eating pensions, or empty stadiums. The dream once built on hope now feels like a mortgage you cannot pay. So I will end with this question. Would you leave or stay? Share your thoughts in the comments because your real stories are strongest evidence. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is not migration or investment advice but only analysis based on public data. The purpose is discussion, so we all ask questions and search for answers together.